everything's good. Thank you.
All right. Roy, were you gonna say anything else after Rick?
No. I mean,
Okay.
really, what it comes down to is I'm not sure. I'm just like letting everybody know that I'm trying to find somebody. I'm
Okay.
hoping I can find somebody, but realistically,
Uh,
I don't know.
so what's been going on in terms of like how have directors been handling things, so on, so on. What's been going on in that way? That's just what I want to
We'll
know.
we'll get down. I have a director's subject for that.
Fair enough.
It's a little bit down. So once we go to that point, I can talk about that more. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was gonna mention something before Rick was speaking. So I would like to ask you something. Try not to be so monotone when speaking. You know
Dude,
what I
I'm
mean.
dead right now.
Okay, do you want me
Let's
to read the doc?
You can read. I'm like burnt. Well, not burnt out, but like yeah.
Okay, so you finished your position as a leader, right? Okay, you're talking about the community. So, okay. So, Roy isn't really sure about how the teams in GFL operate in general, you know. So, he's basically left that job for the directors to manage and look down on, you know, on the team leaders, how they're operating and how they're managing up, doing their stuff, etc., etc. So he wants for us to study how each team, and by team I assume like team leaders, server managers, division leaders, etc. Right? Um, like how much work they are doing and how useful they are to the point if it's worth keeping that role in the community. Is that right, Roy?
Yes.
Okay, so beforehand, if I actually say something that you do not mean with the document, just interrupt me, okay? Because I'm literally
Yeah, I
just
will.
reading and
Don't worry.
making assumptions. So basically, the next point is Roy would like for us to reevaluate each team, you know, the moderation team, the PR team, whatever, and to see if they're not doing enough work, and if that actually happens, perhaps disband the role and maybe find something more suitable for the members of that role to be assigned to. You know, for example, let's say I don't know, the PR team isn't doing anything, you know, but we have some really great writers. So why not give them the why don't we assign them to do the about GFL team or about GFL project? You know, that's just an idea, and I think that would be pretty decent as well as a personal idea or personal thought. So, Roy, can you remove your cursor? I can read. Okay, thanks. So you need to document everything that goes within the within each role. For example, if I promote, let's say, I promote Wolf to minigames server manager, right? I need to write it down like the date today on I don't know, like 26 October. I promoted Valve to minigames manager, you know, blah 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 blah. You know, just write everything down as in to sort of like keep like a chronogram of everything that's happened. So and maybe make it like public to an extent. You know, like I don't know, maybe server managers or above, and just keep it noted. So if we get lost, you know, we can look back at it and stay on track to whatever objective we are working on. And another thing Roy would like to see us do is something I remember back in the day when community advisors was a thing. Not like these community advisors, but before it was console and all that stuff. Denros was actually really pushy on us, so we would keep on doing all tasks on point, on time, and that is actually sort of important.
Sort of
But
why we got stuff done, yes.
yeah, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't see this, on my personal opinion, I wouldn't see this as a huge priority because most of us have lives. Like I personally am busy a lot. Like during the week, I barely have any time at all. So, yeah. But still, it's something that really needs to be looked on, and I hope Lilos and Ben are writing these down because it is sort of important as well. Anyway, another thing that would be nice to do is, I believe it was thought of. Isn't this what you were thinking of regarding the About GFL project? Like to define what each role and team's responsibilities are and show it to the public, Roy? Isn't this
Yeah,
what you
that
meant?
was one of the pages.
Right. Yeah.
There
Okay.
was going to, I don't know. I had like a whole Trello about it. I can link it here, but that's
Can
for
I
another time, I think.
Mm.
can I
No.
jump in?
Yeah, sure. What's
With
up?
the About GFL, this thing has been in thoughts for over 2 years now.
Make that 3.
Nearly three.
Yes,
Yeah.
3. It's been in
What is
circulation since 2016 almost.
I want to know what is making it so complicated to get this out.
I
Basically,
really
was
just think I
it
just
was
think it just
started-
comes down to is like I don't really want to say it. It's just kind of dumb. I guess you could say just like Lex said, like people like Denros and Snoopy weren't on the CAs like back then. I'm not saying we need to have someone on us like putting deadlines and shit, but I think we do need to have like someone looking over people who do projects, making sure that they're at least making progress. Because progress is our big issue.
We don't seem to be making a lot of it, unfortunately, especially with this About GFL project. 3 years in the making, something should not take 3 years to do.
The thing is,
Exactly.
I believe what happened was there were about a lot of discrepancies and a lot of disagreements on how it should have been done, and
I think
it was a sign,
also,
and people just gave up or something. I don't know, just got upset about it.
we're also in a weird place. We had weird roles that we weren't even like 100% like in on. Like the amount of times we've changed roles since this project started is like more than like if you compare roles from now comparing to roles like 2015 2016, it's the same roles. Like we literally went in a circle. So I think now that we've like kind of like settled in on ranks, we either need to keep him, cut him, and then finish the shit.
I think the
Okay.
style was another thing holding
Honest-
it back.
Well, to be fair, I know to what extent making the About GFL thing should be our priority, but I really don't think it should be. There's other things that we need to look into that
Not a
I
priority,
believe
no, never has
are way
been.
more important. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to continue, assuming no one has anything to add up to what we just talked about. Okay, good.
Sorry, I do.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
I was just wondering about the whole About GFL thing. Is it just generally just information about what
Oh,
we
right,
do
yeah.
and just
There's-
what's there?
There's
Yes,
some
it
people
was.
that
It's a
wouldn't say before.
collection. We don't even actually have it all together. Most of the GFL project is scattered between multiple documents between people that are probably not even around anymore. So we
All
probably
right,
only have
okay.
like 1 or 2 of the original what was started with it.
Oh, I
So that would
see.
be
Okay.
what Roy had, and then I believe what Swagbuster had, which I'm sure
Alright, that's fine.
I can dig up somewhere.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay.
Yeah, I think
so
it's on the Trello.
the whole About GFL thing was basically, I believe it was Roy's ideas. I don't know. I think so. But basically, like make a document, a page on our website that would document everything GFL has been through, where it would state everything GFL is about, like, what we stand for, games and all that stuff, fun, blah blah blah, and all that gay shit, etc. etc. But it was never really done, and it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I'm going to continue. So, finish the About GFL project. Yes. So, look into some sort of advertisement. Okay. So, this is sort of a controversial topic, but I don't know to what extent really. Because there's just so many ways to advertise GFL, like AdSense and all that stuff. I don't even know if any other gaming communities ever used AdSense to advertise them. But I mean, you have all those like gambling websites that do it. So why not us, We could actually attract a bunch of fucking people. Just
Yeah.
hire a decent
Can I jump
GFX
in
artist.
because-
Hey, just a thought. We could just make, like those like GIFs or whatever. It just like
Yeah.
slides through a couple quick gameplays of our servers, like, a surf timer into like, I don't know, like a prop hunt into like a fucking something else, and then it like shows about or not about GFL, sorry. It just says GFL, you click on it, it takes us to the website.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
kind of
So
thing.
hold on. Let me grab that thought and let me
That's
showcase
just an idea
something.
for like a GIF kind of
Yeah. So
advertisement. Assuming we're gonna
mm,
AdSense is like a optional path, I guess.
okay. So here's an idea. So back in the day, it's still going now, but there's RuneScape private service, and there's like a bunch of websites that advertise them, and the way they have is they just have this kind of like GIFs that actually look
Yeah,
pretty
here.
neat, like
No,
stuff like
remember
this.
Minecraft servers?
Yeah,
Minecraft,
exactly.
you know
Yeah,
that kind
like-
of shit, but like
yeah.
as an advertisement.
Yeah, stuff like that. And if we could just hire like a decent GFX artist, or I don't even know if we have anyone decent GFL, just get someone to do stuff like this for us, and probably post on AdSense, have Roy post it, or director. I don't know, man. It's worth a try. I don't think advertisements are that expensive.
No,
Honestly.
dude, they're not.
No, you can use Google Ads, and then that
Yeah,
also
exactly.
puts it on hundreds of websites.
Yeah,
hundreds
that's
of same
AdSense.
theme,
That's
probably.
AdSense, isn't it? I think it is AdSense.
I think so, yeah. It
Yeah.
might be separate, but I'm not sure.
I mean, shit, GFL has so much fucking money into PayPal, right?
We're
Plus, you're
going to
gonna
be
have-
saving more with the new
Yeah, exactly.
servers. So
Like-
that was my whole thought process.
Like, holy crap, why can't we just, like, for like $20 or something into advertisement, just as a test, you know? It's not like it's gonna go
think-
wrong.
Yeah,
Mm.
true. But I think as well with the advertisement, I think we should do. Probably it's going to be tedious and tough, but I think we should do research into
Yes.
what's popular and what isn't popular, so we know that if we say expand into a new thing, it's more secure. And then at the same time, you could tie that in with the advertisement, so you could pop in the advertisement expanding into whatever game that could be like becoming popular over time.
Yes, that's good. That's very nice. So, advertisements. Anyone else has any input regarding them? Any ideas you'd like to see?
I had a thought. I forgot already.
Alright, just smoke less weed.
Shut up.
Alright. Anyway, so Roy mentions here we used to host like download mirrors for Game Banana, and I'm sure all of you here know what Game Banana is. And did we actually get any traffic and new players from doing that?
Oh
Roy?
yeah, we got a lot of traffic from Game Banana, and we had a lot of people be like, "Oh shit, I seen this community on Game Banana." I was like, "Oh,
Okay, so to what extent would that be possible, Roy?
well, on Game Banana they don't do the custom download mirrors anymore." But I was saying if we found something else like that, that'd be pretty cool. This is
Alright.
something we had like a $50 box. Soja and I had it for, and we're just like, "Let's just host Game Banana mirrors. Why not?"
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's just
I remember.
a thought in the air. But okay, go on, Chris. What's up?
We need to also like not just advertise, but we need to like specifically focus on areas where we know we'll pick up players. So like, I don't know if Game Banana still does advertisements on their site or some shit like that, but like trying to focus in like kind of like websites where you'll definitely pick up people who play CS:GO.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know how advertisements work that much, but I feel like you could direct it specifically.
I mean, I guess I'll leave it up to the directors to do research on advertisements and
If I
all that
may
stuff.
just add in here, if
Yeah.
anyone's heard kind of Face Punch closed their forums, and Face Punch is kind of tied into Gmod, and they had a lot of background into how to do and create server things, and I was wondering if it's possible to recreate that on our forums, because that way we'd get a lot more traffic.
That's a great idea.
Ooh,
Actually,
leeching, mega leech.
yo,
It's a leech,
like
but it
real
works.
talk.
Sure.
That's
I
a
mean,
really
Face
good
Punch
idea.
did delete their forums.
Yeah, but like, so the content that Facepunch hosted, right? I mean, maybe you could use like a time machine or something, you know, that website, whatever, and probably just
The
copy
most
paste that stuff
useful
to our
stuff is
forms.
not saved.
Oh, is
Now
it?
coding is a lot harder.
Can't
Yeah,
you use
fuck
that?
Gary for doing that.
What's the website called? Time Machine?
It's web.archive.com, I think.
Archive.org. Yeah,
Some shit
Wayback
like.
Machine. That's it.
Are you talking about making an archive for a website?
No. Basically, FacePunch deleted their forums, right?
Yeah,
We could
yeah, I
use
know,
Wayback
I know.
Machine
So
to save
taking-
like all the guides and all that stuff that they had, like the important information that people actually search, like how do I make Gmod server, blah blah blah. And if we post that shit on GFL and we do the SEO tools and direct that, you know, most likely
Yes.
we are going to get a lot of traffic.
We
Does
would.
Does FacePunch even have like much archives up? I tried looking before and I didn't find anything.
No, that's why I'm seeing Wayback Machine. You know,
Most of the topics I tried looking up weren't even available.
no, feels
But
bad.
that would be a pretty cool idea if we could. I mean, honestly, fuck Gary for doing that, but whatever.
Yeah, and I don't see what could go wrong with that, to be fair. At least, personally, I don't see what could go wrong.
Well, I mean, I think we should at least wait until they're like really getting a. Are they already closed down, or are they like getting ready to?
Oh no,
No,
they're already
they-
closed
they are
down.
gone.
Okay, so then we're probably free to post, and they can't do shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really stealing from them because it's just
It's
gone
just
anyway.
information,
They're not going to
yes.
make a replacement. It's info. It's free, so
Yeah.
you can just put it up there, and no one can really say, "Hey, stop that." So yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks. So I guess this advertisement stuff and leeching sort of from the FacePunch forums, a topic can be closed. And moving on. So Roy would like us, well, I guess mainly directors, because other people can't really do that, to clean up the website forms and pages. And I mean, yeah, that's true. Our forms are kind of a mess, sort of thingy.
I
And
agree.
you know,
Like mass delete stuff, like in the trash bins.
not really, but perhaps reorganize the forums and try and make it more new visitor appealing, you know, because our main
think-
objective is to attract new players to the forums, you know, to the website,
One
to make them
suggestion
stay.
I have. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I didn't mean
it's
to talk over you.
No, go ahead, man.
One suggestion I have is removing the huge discover us thing. I mean, personally, it annoys me.
Wait, where do you see that? Discover
on
us?
the yes on
Uh-huh.
on forums. and
Yeah. Discover
on-
us. Where do I see
It's
that?
on probably on the new theme.
on the new theme.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that new theme.
Yeah, that's a topic we can talk about a bit later, because Roy has it a little bit.
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
separate topic for that.
So, Fafi,
Okay.
if you can, write it down and note that you want to talk about it, and when the time comes, I'll give you a word about it. But anyway, let's continue because it's already half an hour has been gone. Anyway, so clean up the website, blah blah blah, remove useless categories and merge them into others. So I think that's been done, sort of, to an extent before.
Can I suggest
Yo.
streamlining the member process? That is one thing that is a real hassle for, well, especially like people in Gmod, because our audience tends to be like from anything from a 12-year-old to a 25-year-old mostly.
Right.
So
Look
member
at-
applications at the top, first
No,
thing.
look at that on the one of the bullet points below where I say finally implement this. It goes to a project that I had for the member system.
Oh, right, okay. I'll take a look at that. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'll even post in GFL Meetings chat. Anyway, that's actually something really important, and I think would be beautiful if you worked on. Anyway, moving on. Start moving any valuable separate IPS4 databases to the forms, blah blah blah. Whatever. I don't even know what you mean with this, Roy. So if you could explain, I would appreciate it.
So you see how hold on. I need to get an example. Hold on. So
Like-
these
Hmm.
are like IPS4 databases. They're separate
Right.
from the forms.
Oh, okay.
There's also Bug Tracker. We had plenty of other things. I wanted to merge any that we could or would fit better into the forums, because I feel like it kind of isolates them when they're into the database like that.
Okay. I see. Alright. That's not a bad idea, but honestly, that's really up to you and Zai if he ever comes back, whatever. So talking about Zai, he's gone. Effing chat. There's nothing we can really do. He's just busy with school. So for those who don't really know, well, I wasn't really expecting you guys to type F in chat, but okay.
What did you...
Anyway, he's
That was a
gone.
mistake.
People need to take care of their life, and Zai and Cobra are two people that we sort of lost, so to say, lost as in like they resigned recently because they just want to put more time into their life, and GFL's thinking allow us space and time, whatever. Anyway, so as Roy mentioned earlier, and Fafi mentioned it as well, or Harakone, I think, to streamline the member application system, right?
He was calling you.
Yeah, exactly. So Roy's idea, and it's actually really massive. Oh, I was really about to mention Darkling. Thank you for joining. And apparently this was something that Roy discussed with Darkling like long time ago. And basically, so whenever someone registers on the forums, because currently you have to register. Yeah, you have to register.
And you gotta apply.
Yeah, and you have to apply, and then you just gotta wait until you're accepted, which is, since our bot is broken, it's only up to the member acceptors, right? It's, oh my god, it's so tedious. I don't even know how people manage to do that. I mean, man, they probably love our community. Anyway, it would be just huge if people just applied and linked the Steam, and boom, they're members, you know? That would be beautiful. Like,
I think we should just remove players, because if they're going to make an account, we might as well say, hey, you're going to apply for member. And if you're not, why are you making an account? Because don't we have guest options?
Yeah. I think so.
So then just cut out the middleman. Just the making the account is the application, and it will send in as you finish your account.
I was more
Does
so
that make
thinking
sense?
if they linked their Steam account.
Or
yeah, because, you know, the thing
that
is,
works.
the reason why we make them apply is so we can put their Steam ID into the database, you know, into the group manager plugin we have, right? That's the whole point of the applications. And what Roy would like to do is have like an automated process that whenever they just linked their Steam account, they don't have to apply, they just have to link it. It would automatically verify if they have like a VAC ban, which would go into moderation queue, and then would be reviewed on a case-by-case basis by our moderators or member acceptors. You know, that's a good idea for, you know, good job for member acceptors. And then they would be member or not, depending on their situation. And honestly, I think this idea is way better than our current system with the applications. But the only issue here is, do we even have someone to develop this? Probably not. And sadly, Nick isn't here, which is a shame because I'd love to talk about him with him about
I
all those
could
stuff.
look into it.
Do you think you could potentially look into this before the Epic DL stuff? I don't know
Yeah,
how
I'll
busy you
try.
are, and I'll even be there to give you moral support whenever I'm
Oh
online.
fuck, it's gonna deal with PHP. Yeah, I'll try.
Alright, so, but no promises. We are probably going to work on this, and it's a really good thing. Yeah, yes, thumbs up. Okay, so consider implementing global store on website, blah, blah, blah. So this would be huge in my opinion. Most of our servers, like minigames, Jailbreak, Surf, etc., I'm talking about CSGO, they use some sort of store. If we could centralize and make the store plugin we use on all servers the same, you know, on all CSGO servers the same, and I'm talking personally on the CSGO stuff, if we would allow people to buy like credits, that would be huge. Like, I know tons of people just message me on Jailbreak like, yo, Lex, I'll give you my skin if you give me like 10,000 credits, winky face. I was like, haha, okay, I'm gonna scam you. But anyway, on a serious note, I think that would be really, really fucking cool. And talking about Gmod, I'm not really sure. I don't know how it's done, but
We
if
do
we could
have point shops and stuff in
yeah,
those servers.
exactly. If we could have like a central database with point shops that could be linked between all servers, between all CS:GO and all Gmod servers, since the plugins are different, that would be really amazing, But the issue here is, again, as the previous point, we are lacking developers. I mean, there's a ton of good developers that I'm aware of, especially in the Zombie Escape, but none of them want to or intend to develop for GFL, and that's a fact. So one solution we might have, perhaps paying developers,
People
hiring
don't do stuff for
developers.
free.
Wait, what was that,
Yeah.
Rick?
People don't do stuff for free.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
I mean, yeah, sadly. Oh well. But here's an idea. Try and search for like a developer for hire sort of thing. That's decent what he does, etc., etc. I think that would be a good idea to develop like our global store thingy. Would be huge.
Yeah,
And
I mean, people ask on Gmod as well, so
yeah, I mean, I honestly just see this as a win-win situation, sort of. Well, except we have to spend money. Anyway,
I
on that
think
note,
should
sorry,
be-
go on.
Yeah, this should be shelved for a later time, I think, because it is a massive project.
It
And I
really
think
is.
you should
I feel like it is.
prioritize on the small things that kind of nag away at people and are kind of make things a bit tough before you go and focus on this massive kind of project, unify everything.
Alright, hold
and also getting population on the servers too. I mean, can't implement something so big and just have empty servers. So
Yeah, exactly.
on. Okay. So, I'd like to take the last point and use it as an excuse to talk about the next one, which is referrals. And if we ever look into this, we could have referrals. If you refer someone to the website, make them become a member, that player would get, I don't know, like 10 GFL bucks or something. That's just an idea, but still, it could be huge. But something that we would need to look into is people trying to scam the system, try and make alt accounts to circumvent it. But that should be easy to detect by use of the IP thingies. It's no
If
biggie.
the person getting referred links your Steam account, it should count.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that's a good way to get rid of the people who are spamming it or whatever, scamming, whatever.
Yeah, but these last 2 points are really, really, really far in the roadmap. Oh, and talking about roadmap, I think something that could really be done is an actual roadmap. Like, for example, have you guys ever seen the Rust roadmap?
Yeah, like for like big like Escape from Tarkov, Star Citizen. What else has roadmaps? Fuck.
Oh wait, what?
Like big picture roadmaps.
Yeah. Hold
Like
on.
where you like say like by here we're gonna roughly have this done.
Yeah. Like, oh my, there's no more Rust roadmap. What the heck? Where'd they go? Okay, this kind of aids because that was like a huge. Okay, I guess this is it. Because it was huge, and okay, I guess that works. But their previous roadmap was way better. Anyway, if we could make like sort of a roadmap and work on it as like the higher ups, that would be like huge. Personally, that would be amazing.
This would pretty much be taking Trello and making it public at all times.
Bro, Trello
Like,
is
displaying
ugly
it.
and stupid.
I know. Well, I'm not saying
Trello's
using actually Trello, but using the information from not all of it, but some of it from Trello and literally like displaying it for the public.
True. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Anyway, Roy, I will give you the word to talk about the new theme. Oh my god, there's so many pages to go.
Yeah, you can check the new theme if you go to the bottom of the website, the footer, select theme, and go to GFL V3 main.
I think the theme looks
Ah.
nice, but it does
Yeah, it
need
looks
its colors
nice.
adjusted.
Yeah, so either me or somebody else is going to create the same theme with a better color scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roy posted an
Uh,
announcement about it as well, but I can't seem to find it.
Can I just say, you should probably think about making that the default theme.
Well, that's
Uh,
the plan.
Yeah.
I think
Is once
eventually after like enough testing and bug tracking and people actually looking for bugs and probably getting rewards for finding them, we could finally implement a new theme if the main population enjoys it. I think that would be a
I
good
made
idea.
a poll about that theme a few days ago, and it seems like a lot of people like it. I mean, people want a different color scheme, which I
Yo,
think.
sex one.
Mm. Yeah, we could just have a bunch of different color schemes, for different seasons. That would be good. And for actual people can choose it, Oh my, I don't like purple, I like pink, We have a pink theme now. Yay. That would be a good idea as well. Just a bunch of different colors and changes. But on the long road,
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much all about the new theme. Thank you, Roy, and everyone else who's been working on it. It looks pretty good. And, I approve personally. But another thing needs to be done. Update source bands. There's a new version. And I honestly, when I made the theme for source bands, that took a few years to be uploaded. I missed a few tables, and I don't mind redoing it again. So I can do that as well. So it looks even better. And probably even update source bands to the new forums theme. That would be a good idea as well.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't even know how you would do the global bans, mutes, gags. I think source ban works to an extent.
It seems to do the trick. I mean,
Yeah, so far
people
it seems to
people
work.
come to surf and say they're banned. I'm like, you're banned on this server, so you're banned on all of them, buddy.
Yeah.
You can appeal here.
And
Bring
Yeah.
back the
It was an idea to build our own system for a while now.
Personally,
I
I
don't
don't
think we
think
got around to it.
it's even close to priority. I mean, if it's not broken, why try and fix it? So, we're not gonna try and reinvent the wheel here. It's pointless.
we should bring back the recent bans button. That was pretty nice.
We can, but it destroys performance. It does a ton of MySQL queries with like the join statement and shit, and it like fucked up
Yeah.
the performance.
Shame.
Yeah. Anyway, to continue, there's still a bunch of servers using HL stats X, for example. I think ZE1 still uses
I don't
it.
think it's even up. I don't think we moved it.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think it worked.
The resident sleeper. Anyway. Okay. Oh yeah, Z uses the plugin from Loco. It's pretty neat. So the servers that use HL stats, just remove them and just change to game me. Although it's a paid service, it's nice. And Roy, I would love if you gave access to directors to game me, whatever.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that because I think they can control the payment through there. I give them the main account.
Yeah, that would be pretty decent because it's a bunch of subs. Well, maybe not. I mean, if you're willing to set it up for whenever
The
we ask you
problem
to.
is when you order a GameMe server, you have to confirm the subscription change through PayPal, which obviously requires you logging in and confirming that change. That's been the problem with giving directors access to that is, I'm not going to give anybody access to PayPal. I don't know if there's an alternative way we can do that, but I'm going to look into it.
Okay, yeah, I see. Maybe you could message Game Me support, and maybe they could help you out about it. That's a
Yeah.
good idea, sort of. Okay, to continue, organize official add-on plugin and configuration packs. So for those who do not know, GFL has on the GFL lab the global plugin pack that we use on most CSGO servers, and I'm not sure, I think Gmod servers as well. And I believe Roy would like for that pack to be updated and be up to par to nowadays standards, so to say, because it might be a tiny bit outdated. And perhaps even move it to recompile it with source mod 10 or 1.10, which would,
Yeah, it's another big upgrade.
yeah, it would be really nice. So ensure each game serves run global ads, and that comes right next to the Epic DL thing you mentioned earlier, which you would like it to be advertised across all servers. So we currently use a MySQL advertisement system sort of thingy, and I think everything's working fine so far, but making sure it does seems like a good idea as well. If you're using the same global extensions, I mean, honestly, at this point, it is a division leader's job. So that will be up to me and Fafi, Pedro, Reeves, etc., etc., etc. Global Z ranks between all games if possible. I don't even know what you mean with this.
We have like senior rank, we have like senior M, and we have like a bunch of
Oh, you mean
fucking
like the tier system?
ranks. Yeah.
Okay,
That
okay,
like
okay.
all mismatch between divisions and servers. So I've kind of wanted
Okay.
to globalize that.
I got you. I got you. All right. So basically, what Roy means is have all servers utilize the exact same staff system. Basically, you have the server manager. I'm talking like the highest power to lowest. So you have the server manager, you have the tier 3 admin, aka senior admin, you have the tier 2 admin or just normal admin, and then you have the tier 1 admin or trial admin. Okay, and I think Lilos is the one that mentioned it in my post when I made about the meeting, where making GFL uniform is something that
Oh,
he really,
flashback.
really, 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 really wants to push. So, Lilos, are you there? Question mark. Okay. Would you like to develop your thoughts about it, or do you have anything written other than that post? Because, okay, so here in the post, what Lilo said is, I'm gonna quote him exactly from the post he posted. That's all I'll post. There is a lack of core rules and community within GFL as a whole. For example, CS:GO has different levels of tolerance to Gmod with word usage, and the main reason why I see that happening is the target public in both games is kind of different. If we look at Gmod, there's like a bunch of like really, 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 really young people playing it. I mean, I'm not saying CS:GO has, but I mean CS:GO hasn't, but to put this in a very informal way, the Gmod players are way more snowflakey, if that makes sense, compared to like CS:GO players.
Yeah, I do agree that we should have pretty like the same rules across the board, but like as far like few case scenario, like I would assume Gmod would not even tolerate like any forms of the N word at all. Not even the A at the end, I would assume.
Wow.
Usually the hard
Well,
R is not allowed, but the nigga is. It's iffy. I mean, depends on who's on the server, I guess.
I
Kids, whatever.
feel like it's not gonna hurt to have slightly different rules for Gmod and CS:GO, but I feel for Gmod and CS:GO, especially when talking about like what admins do and how admins determine like what's breaking rules and what's not. That should be the same between Gmod and CS:GO.
I think the
Like
only
all Gmod should have the same like admin guide, and all CS:GO should have the same admin guide.
Okay,
Core
so
differences would be server-specific rules to say a game
Yeah,
mode.
so like that would
That's it.
be like Surf Timer would have like your zoning information and shit
Yeah.
like that. But I'm talking like just your mute, gag, your bans.
hold
Like
on, hold on,
how
hold
do
on.
you deal
Let
with that
me
shit?
let me
Because I
let me
think
grab that
that's
thought real
inconsistent.
fast. Okay, Krusty. So to make that consistent, and I'm gonna say this like straight up. So a really good thing that I believe that should be done is just me and all the other division leaders just make a meeting whenever we are all available and just sit down, brainstorm, and set up like a set of global rules for all divisions. So we all implement them. Does that make sense?
But what about for admins? Because that's you're just
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
have rules for your players, and you have to
Yeah,
have
yeah, exactly,
a
exactly.
guide, a rules and guide set up for your admins to handle those rules.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, they're just gonna go on and things have happened in
I
the past.
kind
That's
of
all I could
made
say.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kind of
The
made
we
something
issue,
a
like
lot
the
of
issue with
servers
that
have
is,
guides, but as for like a proper like full fucking guide, like
that. Like a
everything
full
is
global
there,
guide.
everything's there. Like you don't have to go to this doc or this doc. You don't have to re-ask. There's just one place where every CS:GO admin can go to learn how to do admin shit. And that's just for like the
okay,
most
so
general shit. For server
here's
specific,
where I'm
we
gonna
should still
disagree.
have like
Okay, okay, yeah. So the
yes,
general rules or general like, for example, we do not tolerate hard or or nigger whatever. We do not tolerate that. For example, for that, just mute like 5-10 minutes, whatever. Okay. Well, like if you say nigga, like what's up, man, niggas, try and be nice, dude, just memeing around. I think that's completely fine. Okay.
yes. Let's
But
not
that's just an
redefine that.
example.
We've redefined it enough. But I should
Yeah,
also point
exactly.
out when you're talking to your player base, because you have to understand these people will use your words against you. Maybe not in your server, but on servers like Surf Timer especially. All right.
Yeah.
When you tell your player base, yeah, it's okay to say nigga, but it's not okay to say, with the ER or whatever. People are gonna take that literally and they're gonna fuck around with you saying the A. So instead of I don't know. I think you should really watch how you talk to your player base, understand that they're gonna use your words against you and say something like when they ask about the N word, say like we don't tolerate racial slurs on the server. All right.
Okay, now
It
here's
it defines
why
it very
it's
well, but it's not straight up saying, yeah, you're okay to say the nigga, because some people are just gonna abuse it, and we've seen it.
yeah, and that's a very difference. For example, the way I teach most of my admins, well, not most, all of them, regarding the N word, etc., is if they are actually abusing it, and it's very easy to see when they are with it, trolling intentions and with malicious intent. When you see that, it's just straight up mute, and it's not hard to see. But if they're just as I mentioned earlier, like, what's up, my G's, whatever, that's completely fine. At least in my personal opinion. But I still believe we need to write it down and etc. etc. But yeah, Duck is kind of right. Why are we devoting so much time to such a petty little issue? Anyway, I don't even remember where we were.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
the
we're
We're
global
talking
stuff.
about how are you?
rules.
for our
Yeah, the global
staff.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
rules.
Yeah, like, oh my god, can we say the N word? Haha. Yeah, and it's fucking stupid because it's pointless fucking arguments.
All right, moving on from that, but to reiterate, I'm guessing are we trying to go for like your guide for all your admins, and then you're kind of like your little like each manager has like their little specific ones. So like
Yeah, server
I don't know,
specific rules.
mini games has like commands specific for mini games. CE has commands specific for ZE, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So, the general guidelines, I believe, the way the admins should act should be uniform, at least
Yes.
throughout
At
all
least
divisions.
a uniform guide for CS:GO and a uniform guide for Gmod, because I know commands are different and I know some other probably slight details that are just going to make it fucking stupid.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess the general consensus is, well, what do you disagree with, Lilos? Do you disagree that we should have, just general admin guidelines for all divisions and then server specific stuff?
Well, I'm not. We're still on that N-word thing because I'm not saying that's gonna be the determining like difference between CS:GO and Gmod. I don't played a lot of Gmod, so I don't really remember how admin shit works on there. Like, so I don't know if it's like if you can pretty much apply the same fucking guidelines to Gmod as you can CS:GO.
Well, that's why I
Kinda, sorta.
think we can
It's
have. Oh, I don't know, man.
it's somewhat same, but there's a lot of older people, I guess, for CS:GO, so it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, it's kind of like, what does GFLs
Well,
allow as a whole?
commands are gonna conflict, like
Yeah.
basic commands.
So,
So I mean, it will probably just be the same guide, but like the commands are gonna be switched up in each one. Does that make sense?
mm,
Does that make it sound way less
it's
difficult? We're
division.
not making two guides. We're making one guide and adjusting it to each side.
That sounds fine by me.
Okay. Let's not overthink it.
All right. So I guess I'll just.
I guess he's freaking out. Do you have a mic?
No, Lilas does not have a mic. I mean, his mic's broken or something. I don't know. I'll just fucking use it, dumbass. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just going to move
I
on.
call screaming first.
I'm literally just going to move on, and I mean, I think this topic is.
Dragged on for long enough.
We're still on racial slurs. Whoa. Shut up, Rick. That was just one example I was making. Just to make that clear. That was an example. That's not a
Guys, it's
Like,
been
that's
1
not
hour,
our topic.
and we're literally on the 3rd page of
Yes.
Roy's
That's
post. And there's,
rough.
oh my fucking
Honestly,
god.
you're not
Just
gonna get
table
through this
this for
entire
another
meeting.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a
That's what I
guide.
was saying. GFL's the whole. Yeah.
Here's everything
Look,
admins
man,
need to
that's the
do
meaning.
for CS:GO.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my.
gonna pin that, whatever. And we might reuse that. Okay, continuing. Globalize ranks between all games if possible. Is this like the store ranks or whatever? VIP, etc. Isn't it like global the way it is?
No, just the whole senior admin thing. Shit like that. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Think of ways to get players, blah blah blah. I think we've already thought of ways like that, and I don't really know how else we would advertise us Discord, other than just have like on the main website and on our servers as global advertisements. But other than that, I don't really see any other way.
I think I've mentioned previously about giving points rewards for joining the official server. So
Yeah.
like that was discussed ages ago, but it's
Well,
a big thing.
that's actually great. That's a great point. And if we ever rework the store, I think that's something we need to add as well. Start working. Okay, hold on. Think of ways, blah blah blah. Yes, obviously other servers should be in mostly good shape before expanding. Okay, so I know everyone wants to expand, like emphasis on Roy and Ben, and for Headzilla, whatever, Majilla, whatever, and Pedro. You guys really want to go like more TF2 servers. Everyone gets a TF2 server, and I'm really glad TF2 is doing amazing. But before we actually expand, and I've always defended this, and I agree with Roy's point here. Before we expand, we need to make sure our current servers are doing good, like they're in a great shape. Also, Lilos, meet your mic, please. Thank you very much.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, as I was saying, before we actually expand, just make sure our servers are doing, above average, so to say. And there's no way to disagree with this. I mean, that's just how it should be. Okay, start working on a global player track again, record the amount of unique players. Have you ever done this, Roy? Has this ever been done before?
Yeah, we had a global tracker database.
What happened? What happened to it?
This people stopped putting it on their servers by default, and it just wasn't being used. We actually had over 3 to 4 million unique players in it over like 2 to 3 years,
Do you still
which
have
is
access to it?
yeah. I just want to get that started again.
Okay, yeah, I'm down. Just send me the plugin and I'll put it on every CS:GO server
I
eventually.
think we should I think we should also develop it a little bit more to include like player times and shit like that. I think like a globalized playtime system would be pretty cool.
That would be
Zero
pretty
had
nice.
implemented that on my server, but I don't know if he did it on all Gmod servers.
Yeah. And then maybe we could even like make an IPS4 app that like lists like all the players that have joined our server, like link it to the form account based off of the Steam ID. And then we can sort it by like most played time by default, so we can see who plays on all the GFL servers the most.
Yeah, I think that would be really huge. Like, you know how on CS:GO there's that plugin that you just do like exclamation mark playtime, you know? If we could somehow make something similar, but have, or actually use that plugin and modify it so it connects to like an external database, if that makes sense, I don't know. And then sends the info to like to the forums, and then based on the data it gathers, we could make like an application with graphs and all that shit. That'll be pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was also my thing. Maybe we could track like unique players in the graph, daily, monthly, yearly, and so on.
Yeah, I mean,
Would this
we
be
have
for
the
like
GFL
admin
app.
application stuff, like confirming that
Oh
they
no,
played on the
just
server?
in general. But we could
Oh,
use that
okay.
as well. But I mean, like just in general, to see, as mentioned, to show the growth of GFL, to see if it's doing good or bad, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think this is an overall great idea.
Well, I don't really know what to say about directors, because that's mainly something you have to say, but basically 1 or 2 more directors, which is probably going to be Dan and who was the other person? Ahmed?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you can all just message them saying congratulations.
Ahmed's pretty weak. We can bring back Wilfred.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I could work as
very
well.
sweet.
But yeah, Roy,
I
I'm going
think
to give you
Wilfred
the
could
word.
beat up Ahmed. So
You said you want me to get a
Yeah,
rest?
because I have no idea what you want to say about directors. I mean,
Yeah, so I know this has been something I've been trying to implement for a while, but I want to give directors like full access to the web machine. I'm on with the game server machines. I also want to start making better training guides just to let them know how to handle certain things. So there's that. And then there's work on myself getting more involved with the directors. So basically, I know I haven't been communicating with the directors as much as I should have with all of this, which I apologize for. But it's something I want to work on in the future. But however, with the whole Epic DL thing coming out, it's gonna be like I don't know how much time. So when I find a new leader, I'm hoping I can find somebody who will definitely establish a lot more communication with the directors. And that's pretty much it.
all right. Well, thank you very much. So, long story short, give directors more access, and so the workflow goes smooth. So for example, division leaders don't have to depend on directors, and directors don't have to depend on Roy, etc., etc., etc. So I don't think there's all division leaders here. It's only me, Pedro, and that's it.
And me.
Oh yeah, you, Fafi.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sorry.
say Faffy here too.
But that's fine because we pretty much have one division leader per division. So what I would like to mention as or start is just basically do like a report on each division and how it's doing and etc etc etc. So I guess I'll start. So what happened in CS:GO is Wolf, do you want me to mention now your thingy? And Roy, should I talk about like Z and
I
stuff?
think it's further down on the document.
Yeah.
But still, I mean like your minigame stuff. And I was just gonna mention everything that's happened recently in the CS:GO division and future plans.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so TLDR, Cobra resigned and Folly became the new CS:GO B-Hop manager. 1v1 arena is probably going to be rebuilt eventually soon TM by May because it was a project that Cobra was working on. So Surf, I'm gonna let Frenzy and Krusty talk about it because as far as I know, they've been planning on changing the timer, and you guys didn't have to go like really into detail about it. What do you guys expect about it? Like,
Okay, so I can talk about it. I'm not really sure if you guys can hear me at all.
I'll
My
repost the
microphone.
link for anyone
my
who's
link.
wondering. It's actually pinned.
There it is.
I love that.
Tisla.
And so basically, we're switching the timer soon-ish, like 10 days or something. And I put a TLDR down there that you can read, I guess, if you don't want to read the whole. That's probably easier.
Do you want me to expand on it? Kind of say like what exactly we're doing, so they're not like in the dark.
Yeah, they can probably hear you better than they can me.
Yeah,
So
all right.
you can.
I'll go over a couple of probably our most important things that I believe we discussed. First off, I think we're changing both servers to 85 tick to compensate for our newer player base. They're not necessarily the best surfers, but and I wasn't necessarily happy with it, but I'm glad.
Yo, Krusty, let me just interrupt.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of Gmod people here. So 85 tick basically means that
I can
it's
explain
way
for them quickly.
easier. It's way easier to surf. Long story short, it's way easier to surf.
But
okay,
going
that's
too
it.
high causes ramp glitches. So you have to pick a specific tick if you want nice surf servers. I think. Oh yes, with our new timer, I believe it's gonna have it's basically the CK Surf timer, which I'm sure most of you have heard of, but it's been built on top of that, so it has some extra features. Um, as far as I know, it's gonna have a ranking system that, from what I can tell, looks pretty familiar to what
Yeah, it's
CK was.
CK Surf. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty much CK
it's-
Surf in disguise.
the timer itself is like they developed it from CK Surf, so it's basically just a modified version of that.
Yes.
I go over that in the post as well.
And with this timer change, it will also allow us to definitely add a lot more maps and really start focusing on I guess like expanding our database, because right now I guess it's fair to say we're holding off partially because of this timer at this moment.
Yes.
It's just caused us so many problems through crashing, just zones not saving. At least maybe it's my
That's
fault.
because you fucked up.
Okay, fine. But we have had issues with this timer and it's kind of annoying. So,
No,
and
this
it's
timer sucks.
not even finished. You can have the same rank as the best player just by beating the same amount of maps, that kind of deal. What else do we have in here? What else is important? Admin team. Let's see.
Basically, you guys.
Do you want to go on this one at
most
all?
of the people, like most of the old people,
Can
you guys
hear
know
me
that, I
at all?
guess.
I don't know how I sound in Discord.
Yeah, you're just a tiny bit quiet, but I mean, no one's really speaking, so we can hear you fine.
Okay, well, basically, we demoted most of the old admins from before because, well, they, I don't know, some of you probably saw the screenshots of like their logs. They were pretty bad, so we just decided to like revamp the whole admin team. And I chose to like bring back someone that I used to have as an admin when I was manager in like 2015, 2016, and use him as a head admin, sort of, to be a mentor, kind of, for the new admins, since most of them don't have like experience. So that's basically it.
Yeah. That's very nice to hear, and I hope everything goes well. Regarding jailbreak, I'll go over it. So I've mentioned this before, and I'm gonna mention it again. And TLDR, I'm not really very fond of managing jailbreak, and I'm only doing it because the population enjoys the server, and I've been asked to, so I'm doing it. No, I don't hate the fucking server. What the fuck? But the population is really cancerous. But the server itself is doing alright. I've recently changed to Prime only to counter the toxic player base, and it seems to be doing pretty well. The only repercussion we've had is exactly from those toxic players, and the admin team in general seem to agree that it was a really good idea.
Does this affect players at all, or has it affected player base?
Obviously, yes. Mainly the toxic people who used to join, they don't join anymore because, you know, they just use
So it
alt
was
accounts.
it's more of a situational rather than a possible suggestion for others.
Yes, pretty much. So, for example, I think Z at the moment is not Prime, and I don't think it should be. But anyway, it's really on a case-by-case basis. So, if you ever feel like you need to change your server to Prime, you should probably talk to me and we can review all the options about it. That's pretty much everything that's been happening with jailbreak, to be fair. Foley, do you have a mic, bro? I don't even know if he's here. Anyway, I've been talking with Foley a tiny bit recently, and B-Hop seems to be in really safe hands because Cobra still talks with the new manager. He set him up pretty nice. So doesn't seem to be any issues whatsoever. What else is there to talk about? 1v1 arena. I'll be fucking honest, that server's a fucking mess. Angry's not here, sadly, but I've been ranting to him and I've been pushing him to do better every single time.
Do you need me to retake that server?
Nah, you're fine. But if it ever happens, I'll make sure to ping you about it. So, 1v1, I don't even know what's going on with this server. Angry doesn't really do his job properly, although ever since I've pushed him on it, ever since I've done, like, I've called to his attention about it, he's been doing somewhat decent. So I really hope that continues, but it is in my plans to fix the server and try and rebuild it, perhaps. So I think that's pretty much all there is. Oh yeah, we can talk about the new Z server that me, Roy, and Wolf, and the Z managers alone.
That
Snowy.
point's a little bit lower if you guys want to.
Yeah, that's fine. We're still talking about CS:GO, so might as well.
Yeah.
You know. But in the doc that Roy posted or Roy made, if you guys scroll down somewhere, I can't really find it.
I highlighted it.
He highlighted it somewhere. Oh yeah, there you go. CS:GO Zombie Escape number 2. So there are plans on setting up a second Zombie Escape server, using the Anicast network, and Roy and me and mostly everyone believes that it will do pretty decent, because of the A2S info caching. So the only issue is our current Z server runs on Windows, and basically we want to make just literally a copy of the server, but we have to convert it to Linux because all our servers run on Linux. So we need a dedicated manager, obviously, and that's where Valve comes in. And I'm going to mention just slightly the minigame situation. Basically, we were really expecting minigames to do really well. Actually, I'm going to give word to you, Valve, if you'd like to develop into this. Hello? I don't know if he's here. He might be just AFK or something. But TLDR, minigames hasn't been doing extremely well as expected. That's why we've been thinking about replacing the minigame server with a new zombie escape server. And that's probably gonna happen like in January 2020, because Snowy is probably gonna be away for like two months or so. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to talk about in CSGO. Oh yeah, Valve is most likely gonna resign from minigames now, because stuff. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about CSGO, so if there's any other division leader in here would like to talk about their division, feel free to. Fafi, Pedro.
I can talk about Garisma.
Okay, Faf is here.
Is my voice clear?
Sorry?
Is my voice clear?
Yeah, you're fine.
About Roy's suggestions, I think almost all of them are pretty good. For example, a new TTT server. I think it's a great idea because both TTT are getting high population from what I've seen. And about the prop hunt, I think that's pretty easy to do. The new prop hunt expansion. Although,
Alright. Well, I see
although
what you
the
mean.
aim of the aim here it says aiming the server towards classic prop hunt. I think that's doable with the version of prop hunt that is on the old or the English is not working.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying.
Alright.
You're talking about like the old prop hunt server, right? Like the one that was here in GFL like 2015, back when Otaku Supreme was managing it.
He's going to type what he's saying, Alex. So it's
Yeah,
easier.
I'm aware.
No, just saying, maybe you didn't read
But
before speaking.
oh my god, what is wrong with your mic? It's making like a weird buzzing noise.
I don't know. I mean, it's maybe far away from my mouth.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like a static buzzing noise. I'm not really sure. Anyway, while Fafi writes, I guess I can mention a tiny bit about the prop hunt server that we've been pushing recently, sort of. So for those who haven't seen the post, we were talking about a classic prop hunt. Basically, back in the day, there was like a prop hunt server. That's where I came to GFL, basically. And I think it's really nostalgic, and I would love to see it happen. It uses the enhanced prop hunt or something. Oh no, it's the other plugin. But honestly, Fafi knows it way better than I do. Yeah, as Fafi's saying, we could just literally configure some stuff from the prop hunt enhanced plugin, which is the current one, and configure and remove stuff like the HUD, turn off the boosts when you kill people, and it'll still look the same. So yeah. Anyway, Fafi.
Max.
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry to cut you. About AWP, when it's going to be like fully released and start doing well.
Alright, so for those who do not know, the AWP manager rack, He recently was in a car accident, so he was under surgery like yesterday or 2 days ago. Which means that the server release will be delayed for like a month or so. It's unfortunate, but he had surgery on his shoulder, so he can't really be on desktop. So that's pretty much the whole situation with Diop. I even forgot about it. Thank you. Yeah. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's the manager, Rack. He's a nice dude. He's pretty smart, and I enjoy him. Anyway, what I was asking you, Fafe, is if you had anything to report about the Gmod division. Everything's going fine, I guess. Everything's bueno. No issues whatsoever. Okay, so everything in Gmod is stable. Pedro, are you there, by the way? Okay, yeah. Would you like to say something about TF2?
TIF2.
TF2. You know, do you want me to say Team Fortress 2? Okay, so I just wait for Pedro to type it out. And I'm just gonna read what he's saying because I'm also recording. So for people who weren't able to attend, if they watch this video, they will be able to listen what I'm talking about. Sadly, I think I missed a lot of things in the chat because I'm not really recording this screen. Damn, Pedro's typing like an actual essay. Anyway, meanwhile, Swag, do you have a microphone? Or are you able to talk? Yeah, it's kind of awkward when there's no one talking. I don't know.
I mean, I guess I can talk about CSS while I'm here.
Oh yeah, you're here. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just read out what Pedro is saying. So Pedro said, there's not much to add. It's pretty much covered in Roy's document, which where can we see that? TF2. Should try idle servers, change the AFK manager, blah blah blah. Etc. etc. Anyway, it's really cool stuff. So Pedro and Magilla are actually managing to manage the TF2 server pretty decently. So that's really good to hear. And I'll pass the word to Reeves. Hello, welcome.
Hi there. All right, so CSS has been doing actually pretty all right for CSS.
CSS, let's go, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. So like right now, BHOP has like 15 people on. Surf RPG has 10 people on. ZE has like 33 people on. So it's doing really well for Counter-Strike Source, you know, because like dead game. But yeah. But like BHOP in particular is doing actually really great since like recently Kauai died, and we're actually getting all of the majority of the players from them. And what I was actually planning on doing recently was I want to split the BHOP server into 2 servers, just like strafe maps and long maps, because right now people are kind of fighting over RTVs, over because yeah, basically. Sorry, I'm just reading chat. Yeah. Yeah, because so a lot of the players on Kauai, they're a bunch of like EU strafe fucking nerds that just like really short, like less than 1 minute maps. So they don't like the traditional like GFL maps that are like 10, 15, even an hour long, you know. So a lot of people join BHOP, see that's it's a long map, and they'll just leave. So like it won't be that hard. We just have to split up the maps and make 2 different servers for just long maps and short maps. So that was just my idea. And yep. And
It
then oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I was actually thinking about a minigame server because a lot of people came to me asking about like, hey, bring back mini games, because a lot of older players like mini games was a really great server back in the day, but not really. I mean, some of them are, but some of them are just kind of like they've been around in the community, but they've never like done much with GFL. They're just kind of in the woodworks. Just they'll just pop up and ask about it sometimes. But yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but like, cause GFL kind of started with Counter-Strike Source, right? I mean, not really started, but
It did.
like, we got most of our popularity from those servers, and like everybody remembers those good old days. And yeah, like people just ask me like occasionally about like Death Run and mini games and just like random servers like that. And like it's actually a lot more frequent than you would think. And I think it would work if we got the right population of dedicated people that actually want to play on it. But there is a good chance of it failing. But like I feel like as long as we keep the server private and test it a bunch and get the support for it that it needs, it could potentially work out. But
It
it's just
can't hurt.
yeah.
Unfortunately, CSS is pretty dead though. But I mean, it's worth a try. See where it goes.
But the only thing I really do want for CSS though is the second bhop server. Like that's the only thing I'm really asking for. We could probably get the second bhop server up and oh.
That's in like 13 days. That's enough time. We can
Yeah.
wait that long.
Also, would we really need to move any servers? Because like, how many servers are on the NFO box?
There's not many anymore, but the issue is hyperthreading was disabled, which I didn't really think had an impact, but it seems like it does somehow. But if we made a new server, it'd probably be better off on the new machine with Linux and on the Anycast network and stuff.
Because I was just thinking it'd be nice to have all the CSS servers on the same box, but
I mean, we can, well, DE probably wouldn't work with that because it's NFO.
yeah.
And you can't do Torchlight on NFO like that.
Yeah, I see. Well, either way, it should work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about the time frame though. Like whenever I get a box is fine.
Yeah, the rack's being set up November 3rd, so less than 13 days, like a week from now.
Cool.
Or a week and a day.
Oh yeah, what box is the ZE server on? I've never really known.
You mean oh okay. It's on GS 0.08, I think. I think it's running an i7 7700K.
Okay.
We'll be getting, and I talk about it below, we'll be getting a another i7 9700K overclocked to 5.2 gigahertz in about 2 months or so, which will be Linux, so we can do the control panel on there. And if we wanted to move Z, that we could, and that'd be basically be the best performing server out there. So.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I think that's it for CSS though. Besides all that, everything's doing pretty good. Yep.
Well, I would like to go over, we can skip everything else, but I just want to talk about some of the things at the bottom, more specifically the Anycast network. That's all right. Basically, so the plan this entire time was to take advantage of Epic DL's remote DDoS protection, but the vendor we're going with turns out to have like 100+ global POP locations and shit, and we don't want to do the AS2 info caching on that. So I think we're just going to keep building out the Anycast network. This includes purchasing our own ASN, which is, I don't know the exact prices. I can get that a little bit later, but I think it's like $300 up front and like, I think it's like $100 a year or some shit like that, which isn't bad. This will also give me more experience with this like packet inspection and learning how to block DDoS attacks that I can put into the new company. And I'm hoping to build out the network once we get our own ASN finally to support over 100 gigabit DDoS attacks, which will be fine. That's like equivalent to NFO's DDoS protection, but we can probably even get more than that. I will also be giving all directors and technical administrators access to each POP, along with a training guide on how to restart compressor, so I won't have to restart, a POP server when it goes down or investigate that. As for the new machines, I just want to go over that as well. The new Rack Plus machines, they are going to be here on November 3rd. There was actually a chance the Greek and I were going to go out to New York City before the vendor event and watch them set up the rack, but fortunately, we can't arrange that right now. Each machine will come with a KVM. That means that the Greek and I can access the machine's console. Basically, it's like having a keyboard and mouse to the machine. So we can handle any of those OS specific issues and won't have to contact support and so on. So this will result, since the GFL isn't paying for this, it gives us a lot more money to spend and save, like better content, developer, like if we wanted devs, I know that's a huge thing of what we want. And I'm considering doing that. I just want to organize a system to make sure we're doing everything legally. We don't get fucked over or anything like that. The new rack will be located in New York City. Dre will have to make an adjustment to compressor to make sure the ICMP replies come from the physical server instead of the nearest hop. So that was the issue we're facing with IP2 location, which is Valve's geolocation database. This is a little bit more technical, but basically I just want to get the IP block, the 92.119.148.40 to .90, changed in New York City. So it's not going to be in Dallas. Even having it in Dallas shouldn't make that big of a difference, though, due to the caching, but that's just something I want still. But that's basically all I had to go over Those are more important things. You can read some of my projects to look into what I'm doing, such as optimizing the website, but that's really about it.
Is that all you had to say?
Yeah, in regards to that, other than the expansions that we already went over, and that's really about it.
All right. Well, okay. Thank you, Darkling, very much. I guess we can. I guess it's time to give word to everyone here in the chat. If you guys have any concerns whatsoever, any off-topic
I think
topics.
Swag wanted to talk about the Minecraft shared
Right.
opportunity.
But the thing is, Swag is on the phone. I don't know to what extent it'll be easy. But hold on, there
was a section, I can briefly go over it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit above, it's under CSGO. Basically, the Greek came to me asking if we wanted to do a shared Minecraft server. Basically between his and GFL's community. So I went to the Minecraft managers to see what they thought about it, and they agreed to it. So we made a group DM. Swag can probably go into more details about the group DM and how everything's going to be set up. So basically, the current managers are going to still be managing everything, and I don't think the Greek has anybody from his team that's going to be helping with that. But basically, it's just going to be a GFL and the Coffee House Gaming shared Minecraft server. And like I said, Swag can go more into detail on that in chat. Does anybody else want to talk about anything? Any concerns they have or anything like that?
Honestly, yeah, if there's anyone who'd like to talk about any topic in specific that we haven't really mentioned here, please go ahead.
Yeah, I got one.
Alright.
It's about often in our division discords. So we have, say, if you go to Gmod, all of the general chats are kind of locked behind roles you have to opt into in the menu, which actually isn't a very common system used on Discord, believe it or not. And a lot of people just join the server and then they never even realize they can opt in. So I think just as kind of a helpful UI kind of thing, I think we should unlock the general chat of each server, and as well as this would work in, say, CSGO and TF2 as well. And it's just to keep the general chat, and then as a disclaimer, say in the description at the top, it should say if you want to see more like support channel announcements, blah blah blah, use the opt-in role, so that way people can acknowledge the server is there, know where to go, rather than clogging up the general chat for the whole server. Yeah.
Well, that made a lot of sense. It did. So I mean, I didn't know there was there was like groups for a while.
I'm not sure if one of the directors wanted to give input on that. But it sounds good to me.
And there was one thing else. We'll see if I can find it again. All right, yeah, it's kind of a long shot, but it's about when servers are accepting admins into the team, it's to try and get them out into the community themselves. So it's kind of a long shot. It's not really needed, but there's often sometimes just a bit friction between members and stuff when it comes to like conversations. So for example, I can go into TF2 and because none of the admins know me, it's really awkward. So if I try and talk there, I just get ghosted or get a weird reaction, and then the vice versa applies to basically every single division server. So I think just as a really hard push, doesn't need to be done, just to try and get people to go over and out and try and get to know other people on the servers, just so people aren't left out. Like, yeah, that's about it.
I don't get it. What was the point of that?
It's just to kind of work on how, because it just seems that everything is kind of compartmentalized away so that nobody really knows about anything else. So you got kind of all the people in TF2 Discord that probably half of them don't even know about the Gmod Discord and stuff. Because if you think about it, who actually is going to check the info section at the top? They're just going to join a server, do what they want to do, and that's it.
I mean, I see that issue when I'm on my alt. Like, I'll just randomly talk and people have no idea who I am. And then I don't get the same reaction as if I was in my main account on the same server.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I'm getting that experience on like a main alt kind of deal.
It's not really kind of just something to say force out there or to actually consider thoroughly. It's more just a one-off suggestion just to say, because that's from my personal experience. I have no idea about it from other people.
I know this was talked about already. It was actually meshed in with Roy's document, but this I posted an admin guide earlier. It's been on and off used by different servers and it's been edited heavily over the last 3 years. And I feel like it's at a point where it pretty much has enough information that we could use it as like a base for just our general admin shit. Our mute gag ban, how to go about your shit.
Yeah, that's actually been kind of a problem on CSS because like I
Consistency between the servers. I would have people from other servers say, well, this manager said it was okay, and I'm like, well, we're not on that server, we're on this server. So I just feel like having it consistent, no one can really bitch about rules or appealing because you can just say it's the same on all of our GFL servers.
Yeah, that's fair. Because
it's more admin guy, but it's like it kind of messes like it's also like rules for players and how admins need to handle like how people react with that. I don't know if you read it, it kind of goes every point, I guess every broken rule, I guess as far as we come across on the servers, it kind of explains how you manage that without just doing a good old like, oh, they broke the rules, okay, you just kind of type in your command. I feel I see. Well, yeah, I was gonna get to that. I feel like our numbers are inconsistent. I feel like people get muted for the most basic shit ever for like 30 minutes when, for example, on our server, like for example, Surf Timer, I've been using this system since I've been manager in 1v1. I used to use a 10-30-60 rule. Now I use a 5-20-60 rule. Unless it's like excessive or like a rare exception, like rule broken thing, we typically stick to your first offense is 5 minutes, your second offense is 20, and your third is 60.
See, for CSS, like it's kind of just a hellhole anyway when it comes to. Like,
it's a control. Well, I'm sure it's a controlled chaos, is what Frenzy described. Servers like Surf, B-Hop, and CE specifically, it's controlled chaos.
because it's normal for people to like shit talk and have like heated discussions about random shit, but once those people take it too far and they start like just screaming the N-word at each other, like then like you
Yeah,
can give them a
I
little
can't.
timeout.
I can't speak for all servers, but I can definitely say, as far as I've noticed, B-Hop, Surf, and CE are probably the hardest to admin on because it is like chaotic. It's just pure chaos. There's
Like
nothing else to it.
what I tell my admins is like, literally just don't mute anyone unless they're being like straight up hostile towards each other. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like GFL has always been that place where like people just fucking say whatever they want, you know. Pretty freedom of speech.
Yes, and so yeah, I think we should just like. I mean, the guide's long. I cut it in half. It used to be 14. It's now 8 pages. I think. Yeah, it's 8. So it's doable for every admin, and it goes over everything. So you shouldn't have any questions. And I mean, like, I didn't even necessarily make my admins read it. I just glossed over it. I said, if you have any questions, refer to this guide. And I haven't had any problems since, and everything seems to be smooth. So I'd assume everything's okay. I also have commands for situational things. I don't know if any of you had problems with name changing rule breakers, I guess you can call them, or what else? People with special characters, have we had problems with that? Is anyone not clear on how you handle special character people, the typical status in console? Yes, no, at least for CS:GO. I don't know how it runs for Gmod.
You usually use the UOX menu in Gmods. There's no need to even type
Oh,
it
that's
in.
right. Yeah, you guys actually have menus.
Yeah.
Well, weird separate commands.
Well, Counter-Strike has menus too. We have
Kind of. It's not reliable. It's only good for temporary, like until the wipe. It's probably it's
because
yeah.
you can edit the configs for the admin menu
to give specific numbers.
Yeah, to give specific times, specific like reasons.
We have specific reasons, but we can also do custom.
Yeah, you can do custom, and you can also do
Can you send me what would that be under?
Yeah, here I'll send it. Right
yeah, just tell me whatever file it's in. And I can go look into it. Because it would be really nice to just have a consistent system, so then people aren't throwing out weird ass mutes for no reason, like 66-minute mutes or a random 30-minute mute out of nowhere without a consistent.
So it actually should be under the source fans config, and like C-Strike, add-on, sysmod.
Okay, yeah.
Configs.
Okay,
It should just
yeah,
be
yeah.
down there, and like you can. It has like a section for ban time, ban reasons, hacking reasons.
Okay.
There should be one for comms too, I believe. Yep, there is.
That would be something that we probably everyone could utilize for their servers.
Yep.
Yes, because I would like that.
Yeah, because.
What am I meant to do?
I just need what was it? You need to show me. Well, I guess I do know the spot. I don't know. I just need to get specific time set up so then we could utilize the admin menu rather than learning a shitload of commands.
Oh, okay. So I don't know it by heart, but it should be not in CS:GO CFG, but in add-ons source mod config.
Yeah.
That's what I have it right now for ban times.
Yeah, mine's. I would change. I personally.
Yeah, I don't
would
use
change
half
it to
of
the
those.
to. Yeah, but if we were to do like a semi-consistent system, a 510 or a 520/60 seems to do the trick. The first one's a little pat on the back. The second one's like, okay, you're out for the round, and the third one's like, okay, come back in an hour, kind of deal.
Yeah, basically.
Because 5 minutes, people can suck up to 5 minutes. It's really not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually reserve like a 3 month for like cheaters. Because there's a couple like strafe hackers and all that and be up.
Why would you?
I
oh,
usually,
don't
yeah,
have
it's
that
ban
bad.
them.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
usually
have that
ban them for
problem,
like
so
a month.
that's situational. That's why I was talking
Yeah.
about like situational things. Like we don't need anything more than a month. If we're banning you for more than a month, we might as well just say you're an outlaw and just permaban you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like perma banning people anyway. I usually give them 3 months, and if they come back after 3 months and then fucking cheat again, I usually ban them permanently. But
Okay.
after a while, I'll let them appeal it. But yeah.
We don't get hackers. We just get people who just kill our population, so we got to remove them.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I don't even know. I guess there's nothing else to talk about.
No one else brought anything?
I think we can have another meeting too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think we should discuss like everything in one meeting.
Definitely not. And I'm probably going to plan a meeting between me and all the other division leaders regarding uniformizing the server rules. Hopefully something we can all agree on. And, well, I mean, everyone else is welcome, to be fair. But it will mainly be directed towards division leaders. So, yeah, but that will probably be in the next couple of weeks. Not next week.
Alright.
Last Saturday of the month. That's a good idea, to be fair. Hold on. When's the next? When's it going to be? 30 of November. Yeah, sounds fine with me.
I should be free.
Alright. Is there anything else anyone would like to bring up? No?
Would the same time work for most people, or
I guess we could just make a poll or something.
Yeah.
as far as I know, my schedule is consistent, so I'm
Yeah,
not
that was like an
Maybe-
hour and a
if
half
the
late.
time is same.
Maybe 1 to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time instead of 4 p.m.
What about 3? Because 2 really pushes it. Work
Yeah,
already
the thing
fucking
is,
sucks.
you do realize there's a really broad range of time zones here in the community. Like, Frenzy's from Sweden, so it's like 3 a.m. for him, and it's like midnight for me.
That's true.
But it's like 4
What the
p.m.
fuck?
in
I
California.
forgot about you,
you know,
EU people. I'm sorry.
you know, it's like 4 p.m. in California, but 3 a.m. in Sweden. You know,
Get a fucking night job, man. Come on.
so lol, and then have no life. No thanks. But,
Ben wants to talk about Discord bots.
Ben?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that echo about. Okay, so Ben wants to self-host an echo bot, whatever, which is a utility bot, and the database won't be lost if he moves stuff over. But my question is, why host it yourself when GFL bot should be machines?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure he currently hosts it on his own machine, and he's talking about moving it to a GFL machine.
Oh, alright, because self-hosting is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna host on my own computer. Yeah, I got it now. Yeah, I agree with that. It's fine. And someone have some Jeopardy music or something?
I have some sick music, but none of you are into like bass shit or forward thinking beats.
Yeah, no one really cares about your Dance Dance Revolution crap.
Hey, fuck you. You're a weeb too. Shut up. You feed off of Camellia songs, don't you?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
you
like
do.
Camellia, you weeb.
Oh, you're not true. You're not a true rhythm gamer. You can't deny he is the king.
I
He
am
is the banger
loving
king.
Darkling's like posting right now.
Sorry,
Throughout this
I can't
entire
help it.
time, like
I can't
Darkling
help
has
it.
been like
I'll defend Japanese rhythm games to the grave, man.
Yeah, fucking
They're the
weeb.
best.
Darkling, I'm proud of you for giving all that info to Ben.
Ooh. Gold and silver is the autumn. Actually, I don't
Country
really know that
roads.
song, but you're welcome. You guys asked for some music.
Alright, so if there's nothing else to talk about that is of at least minimum importance, I will officially set this meeting as over. I would like to thank everyone who's come and stayed until the end. I'm actually really surprised in a positive way.
This is like honestly,
Yeah.
Lex. This was like a solid meeting. Like this was a
I think so
fucking
as well.
solid.
I think so as well.
It was actually
No, it's
productive,
good.
and we have something to look back now on, in like all this chat to look back on now.
Okay,
Is my
now.
document good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
right, of
Doc,
course.
you did overkill. When I heard 8 pages, I'm like, damn, I'm not prepared, man. But I guess no one else had anything, so.
Yeah, that document. I was just like, oh shit, it's already 8 pages. I should probably stop.
Alright, I'm gonna stop the recording and